IMAX, the promise of bigger screens, sharper images, and louder sound. A format so grand, it was supposed to redefine cinema itself, just not in the way we all hoped. Let's talk about how IMAX, while undeniably revolutionary, has quietly ruined the magic of cinema. Segment 1, a revolutionary beginning. Let's take a step back to the early days of IMAX. It was revolutionary, a chance to see movies bigger, sharper, and more immersive than ever before. It wasn't just a screen, it was an experience. Films like The Dark Knight, Interstellar, and Avatar didn't just use IMAX, they elevated it. Remember the truck flip in The Dark Knight, the docking scene in Interstellar, or flying with Jake Sully on a Banshee in Avatar? These films didn't just look good, they felt monumental. IMAX wasn't just a tool. It was the canvas, the stage, the star of the show. But here's the thing about stars. They tend to hog the spotlight. Over time, IMAX shifted from being a choice to a necessity. Studios realized that slapping IMAX on a film's marketing wasn't just a nice-to-have, it was a cash cow. Suddenly, every blockbuster was being advertised as an IMAX experience, even when they weren't actually shot in the format. Most IMAX films aren't even shot in IMAX. They're just stretched out to fill that massive screen. It's like putting a cheap suit on a mannequin and calling it couture. And when movies are shot in IMAX, they're often only partially filmed in the format. Directors cherry-pick a few big moments, space battles, car chases, explosions, leaving the rest of the movie to languish in standard resolution. Segment 3, the aspect ratio problem. Here's where things really fall apart. Remember Transformers 2007? Love it or hate it, it was an epic visual experience. Michael Bay used dynamic camera angles and sharp visuals to make every moment immersive. But then came Transformers: The Last Knight. Watching this movie feels like flipping channels on a bad Wi-Fi connection. One second, you're in a grand, sweeping IMAX shot. The next, you're in a cropped standard frame. It's distracting, jarring, and completely breaks the immersion. Nothing says immersive like constantly reminding the audience they're watching a movie. Segment 4, the death of standard cinema. But it's not just IMAX itself that's the problem. It's what it's done to everything else. Remember when every movie was an experience, whether you saw it in a giant theater or a small local cinema? That's gone now. Regular screens feel lifeless because studios and directors are saving all their tricks for IMAX. Movies like The Matrix, Jaws, or Jurassic Park didn't need IMAX to blow our minds. They relied on smart cinematography, practical effects, and immersive sound design. But today, if it's not IMAX, it's not even trying. Segment 5, the expanded ratio. And let's talk about the biggest scam of all, the expanded ratio. Studios love to advertise their films as IMAX enhanced, but here's the dirty little secret. They're just stretching standard footage to fill those massive screens. True IMAX gives you unparalleled detail, depth, and scale. Expanded ratio footage just gives you a headache. Segment 6, the IMAX formula. IMAX has also changed how movies are made. Directors now design films around a handful of IMAX-worthy moments, usually the big action set pieces, while the rest of the movie is treated like filler. It's like eating a 5-course meal where only one dish is cooked properly. Sure, that one dish is great, but the rest? Bland, boring, forgettable. Segment 7, why IMAX isn't the villain. Now, let's be clear, IMAX isn't inherently bad. When used right, it can be breathtaking, but it's become a crutch, a shortcut for directors and studios who think a giant screen can make up for lazy storytelling or uninspired filmmaking. Directors like Christopher Nolan and James Cameron understand that IMAX is a tool, not a cheat code. They don't just shoot scenes in IMAX, they design their entire films around the format. That's the difference. Segment 8, what needs to change? So, how do we fix this? First, studios. Stop pretending expanded ratio is the same as true IMAX. Be honest with your audience. If your film isn't fully shot in IMAX, don't advertise it as such. Second, directors. Remember that every frame matters. Don't rely on IMAX to carry your film. Make every scene immersive, whether it's on a giant screen or a laptop. And finally, let's bring back the magic of standard cinema. You don't need a giant screen to tell a great story. You just need heart, vision, and attention to detail. At its best, IMAX is a celebration of what cinema can be. At its worst, it's a reminder of what cinema has lost. So the next time you buy a ticket for an IMAX-enhanced movie, ask yourself, are you paying for an experience or just an expanded ratio? Because in the end, the magic of cinema isn't about how big the screen is. It's about how small it makes the world feel. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our cinematic deep dives. Let me know in the comments what you think about IMAX. Love it, hate it, or somewhere in between. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.